Hi everyone, it's Yaya for Jemobi.com, and today I'll show you around the top 15 open world games on mobile released in 2023 on Android and iOS devices. I've picked some iconic classics, but also some great indie games out there that you should absolutely play. Of course, there are also other great open world games on the stores, so don't hesitate to share your best discoveries with me down in the comments. Sit back, like the video to support us, and follow us on Instagram, where we post exclusive content every day. The link is in the description. Let's start this top with a rather unique game that will take you directly to the highest peaks. Put on your ski boots in Grand Mountain Adventure to slide down the slopes of various alpine peaks in an open world. On and off the slope tracks, have fun testing everything. Slalom, ski on frozen waterfalls, free ride, and anything else you can think of. The game offers a free demo mountain and then a paid pack to unlock all 7 mountains in the full game. Get on your skis or snowboards, reach record times to move up the leaderboard, or just cruise around the resorts taking the chairlift and collecting passes. Grand Mountain Adventure features challenges such as Super G, avalanches, mountain life with wild animals, and even an additional 3 mountain pack. And if you're tired of being alone in this wide snowy expanse, you can play with up to 16 friends on the same Wi-Fi network to tame the mountain together. As for Motorsports Open World, we could mention Car X Street, which is a mobile game with great potential that's not yet advanced enough in its development. In 14th position, the open world Volzerk is available for free via Google Play and App Store in English. If you like collecting monsters and exploring colorful fantasy worlds, this rather discreet title at launch might just charm you for several dozen hours of play. Volzerk Monsters and Lands Unknown is an action RPG that transports you to the island of Fort Lemuria, a remote piece of land in the middle of the ocean. 10 years after heated exchanges between humans and monsters that inhabit the island, you are finally sent there to prevent their extinction. Ride on the back of a monster and explore the island's ruins, forest, beaches, and other environments. To fight all the ferocious monsters that resist you, make sure you have a powerful team. You'll have to create genetic mutations by mixing the monsters you train. In battle, you can also switch between rider and monster combinations with precise timing to generate combos. In fact, Volzerk takes advantage of a breeding system in solo, but in multiplayer as well, since you can crossbreed your creations with your friends like a mad scientist. If you're in the mood for science, test Volzerk right now on mobile. 13th of this top, the RPG Evil Lens invites you to integrate its medieval fantasy open world. Quite dark and not very colorful, Evil Lens tries to give a realistic look to its monsters, NPCs, and various environments that form the Evil Lens. With your custom hero, forge your own legend by completing quest after quest. Accompanied by other players, progress through the game's supernatural territories and optimize your build and skills to go further and further every time. Alternate between co-op and PvP in your raids to collect maximum loot. Arm yourself to the teeth and develop your class to full power. Along the way, you'll make allies and enemies, but one thing is for sure, Evil Lens will not leave you indifferent, so you can give it a chance on Android and iOS for free, or test other games from this open world top. There is no more beautiful open world than the real world, so take to the land as both an IRL and virtual playground. Even though it's a bit out of category compared to other classic open world games, Pokémon GO allows you to explore the surroundings on a huge set, the entire world. As you walk around on your daily commute or discover interesting places around your home, grow, evolve, and battle your Pokémon. Take advantage of seasonal events, raids, searches, special items, and many other features to develop a unique Pokédex from your pocket while also burning calories. You can take pictures of your little creatures in IRL settings with augmented reality, or take part in 1v1 duels and show the world that one day you'll be the very best and win the fight. Search Pokemon far and wide with hope to discover the power that's inside in Pokemon GO on Android and iOS for free. For this top of open world games on mobile, we wanted to offer you some variety. So at the 11th position of this top, it's Marvel Future Revolution, which deploys its superpowers in open world. There are many other Marvel games on mobile that focus mainly on combat and gacha. Marvel Future Revolution is the first open world Marvel RPG on smartphones. This title reveals very good controls with a good level of fan service with PvP missions on the main Earth for over 10 superheroes. The game becomes quickly repetitive, however, but don't hesitate to try it for a few hours to finally enjoy a well-crafted Marvel open world illustrated by beautiful cutscenes. Before stepping into the ultra-serious open worlds where epic knights, hungry zombies, and dinosaurs live, why not take a trip to the silly but fun world of Goat Simulator Free? As the mobile port of this iconic game, Goat Simulator on mobile fulfills all your dreams of becoming a crazy goat. In-game, create maximum chaos by playing as an out-of-control goat. The more you demolish the environment, the more points you earn and the messier the game gets. Ride a bike, strap yourself to a rocket, smash into things, and enjoy the exploding physics on the ground for your silly but cool experiments. Goat Simulator is an open-world game that doesn't take itself seriously. Here, bugs are features, and the more stupid, the more fun, so don't hesitate to discover the game for free on Android and iOS with additional premium levels. Ninth in this ranking, Last Day on Earth is an apocalyptic survival open world. Grab your bat and create your own survivor to take your first steps into the open world. As you go on quests and collect resources, expand your area of discovery around your shelter with increasing danger. Step by step, explore the abandoned farms, the harbor, the forests, and all other environments of the game while keeping an eye out for zombies. Armed with a bat, gun, AK, or even C4 to trap the enemy, you won't be alone in your adventures as you can be accompanied by a pet and have your own Mercy, Alice, or Buckley like in The Last of Us. Level up and unlock new patterns. With these discoveries, you'll be able to develop buildings, create new clothes, and even vehicles that will allow you to go further and further into the open world of Last Day on Earth, on land or water. For multiplayer fans, head to the Crater, which offers a welcome dose of co-op and PvP in this game, available for free on Android and iOS. If the still void of space doesn't make you want to play the saxophone like the Blue Luma in the Mario movie, maybe it will inspire you to great space conquest like those of EVE Echoes, the mobile spin-off of EVE Online. Operate your space fleet to discover the game's 8,000 solar systems. Learn to harness their resources to build power while taking on space pirates. With PvE and PvP, vary missions, create or join alliances, and participate in the MMO economy with your wealth. You can even participate in mini-games with scientific universities to help them process data and advance their studies. Completely translated into most major languages, this space open world will please those who dream of commanding their small little army while exploring distant worlds. EVE Echoes is available on Android and iOS for free with a paid Omega system. Climb aboard your fastest spaceship and join me on planet Ada from Tower of Fantasy, the 7th game of this top. This cross-platform mobile and PC open world MMORPG is developed by Hoda Studio and published by Tencent under its gaming label Level Infinite. The graphics and the gameplay of Tower of Fantasy are reminiscent of Genshin Impact, but with a good dose of multiplayer. The game's universe is also quite different since the title mixes fantasy and science in a cocktail full of action and exploration. In Tower of Fantasy, each weapon embodies a character and his fighting style. You can then switch weapons in battle to unleash explosive combos with the game's characters or your own avatar. The strength of Tower of Fantasy, in addition to its complete living world, is that it offers constantly renewed content with quests, events, puzzles, and temporary bosses. The open world shared between players fills up and expands with large extensions. After the desert of Vera, the Great Sea has been opened to players, bringing aquatic exploration, underwater vehicles, a sunken volcano, and other fabulous scenes with puzzles to solve and bosses to face. Tower of Fantasy is available for free on Android and iOS with many characters to collect and evolve through its gacha system. Other games in the same genre that could have been included in this top list include The Legend of Neverland, an excellent Genshin-like, and another MMORPG, Black Desert Mobile, but the latter was not included in this list because of the frequent loading between its regions, which makes it a limited open world. Enter a popular dark fantasy world with the mobile game Grimsoul, ranked 6th in this top. As the world is ravaged by an outbreak of the Great Plague, even worse than COVID-19, you must do everything you can to survive and plunder the soulless world. Travel through ancient underground tunnels, deep into abandoned castles, and up into surprising places. Discover the monsters and dark treasures of Grimsoul. But your worst enemy doesn't have teeth or big claws to devour you. Hunger and thirst will be as great a challenge as slaying hordes of monsters, so remember to hunt and stay well hydrated. At worst, you can always feed on other humans. I told you, this is dark fantasy. Of course, you will also need classic weapons to decimate your enemies like halberds, crossbows, maces, and other deadly weapons. On the other hand, Grimsoul has opted for a good dose of realism and will even let you enjoy a complete crafting system with boats, carts, armors, traps, and so on. Complete quests, use your ravens to find points of interest and strengthen your castle by slaying bosses to steal the world's riches. In the end, these soulless lands will not do you any favors. You start the game with rudimentary instructions to begin with and lose everything if you die. So Grimsoul is ideal for those looking for a challenge that aren't afraid of a game over. The game is available for free on Android and iOS with built-in purchases. Ranked 5th in this top, Valhalla Action RPG sends you to plunder and save the Viking lands. Some of you will recognize this game that was originally called Frostborn, but is currently available under 2 names, including Valhalla Action RPG on the stores. Free on Android and iOS, this title, created by Kefir Studio, who also created Last Day on Earth, will make you a real Jarl of the North. To the sound of foghorns, learn to master the power of the gods to face the curse of the goddess Hel on Midgard, who is raising an army of the dead to conquer the world of the living. To thrive and send these evil creatures back to Helheim, you have no choice but to take matters into your own hands with PvP survival mechanics, a shared player base, and an entire arsenal of unlockable warfare. Unravel the mysteries of this world from its coastline, forests, to ancestral territory. To get into battle, choose from a dozen character archetypes such as the Berserk, Hunter, Pioneer, Bandit, or Assassin, and even others for all playstyles. Take advantage of the crafting, building, and combat mechanics to develop a thriving town that can supply you with weapons and potions. Anything you don't use can be bartered between players to contribute to the game's economy. And if you're not the friendliest type, you can engage in PvP raids for honor and glory, or quietly betray your companions in an ambush. And to top it all off, in addition to your own city with all its buildings and fortifications, you will be able to buy your personal Drakkar, the private jet of the Vikings in Frostborn Valhalla Action RPG. In 4th position, it's the zombie game LifeAfter that comes out on top. In the middle of a zombie infection that is ravaging the world, you join the world as the living or the semi-dead. Indeed, you can choose to play as a human or a revenant who has already been bitten. Whatever your decision may be, the possibilities for exploration, crafting, and evolution are extremely varied. The game's landscapes and regions are also on point, taking you from snowy mountaintops to sandy beaches, teeming swamps, and even oceans. But even the most beautiful paradise is now infested with zombies, like the 5 mutated seas to be conquered. To survive, you'll have to use the classic survival mechanics of harvesting, crafting, and building without stopping to fight the hungry zombies. However, you can gain power by joining forces with other surviving players and chat with them in any language thanks to the built-in translator. With millions of downloads to prove its worth, LifeAfter is a must-have, apocalyptic open world for survival game fans, available for free on Android and iOS. On the 3rd step of the podium of this top of open world games on mobile, we find the famous survival game Ark Survival Evolved. In the Jurassic era, you land on an island in a primitive universe without any weapon or resources. To survive this hostile land, you can choose to adventure alone in single-player mode to enjoy Ark Survival Evolved at your own pace, or with hundreds of players on a persistent server. The game has more than 80 types of dinosaurs and other creatures to discover, capture, breed, train to perform tasks, and even uses mounts. So, as a highly motivated hunter-gatherer, you'll have to farm natural resources and dynamic ecosystems to craft tools and evolve while developing your makeshift shelter. In multiplayer, you can also form tribes. This allows you to meet new people, gather forces of survivors, and even build entire cities. With new clothes, weapons, and items, you can get enough arsenal to face the dangerous predators and maybe join the Ark. Ark Survival Evolved is a huge open-world game available for free on Google Play and App Store with a Primal Pass and completely translated into the main languages. Among the best open-world games on mobile, we must obviously mention Terraria, a game that has animated the mobile community since the launch of its port in 2020. Available for €5.50 on Google Play and App Store, this title from 505 Games is the essence of the open-world sandbox. All in side-view pixel art, Terraria consists of a clever mix of survival, combat, exploration, crafting, and construction in complete freedom. Its world is truly limitless thanks to procedural generation. It includes deep caverns, ruins, snowy plains, forests, and thousands of unique environments. With certain items, you can even fly through its environments vertically in solo or in multiplayer. Build your own city to expand the game's scenery as you wish, or even mine for lost treasures. In this ultra-original open world, you will also have to collect resources, weapons, and armors to go into battle and defeat the game's bosses. Terraria is obviously reminiscent of Minecraft, with a side view ultra adapted to the mobile format that is definitely worth checking out. In first position on this podium is the gacha RPG Genshin Impact and its wonderful open world. Whether you're playing solo or with friends, run, fly, climb, and swim your way through the world and push the limits of the fantasy world of Tevat. Collect elementally skilled characters, blast monsters that stand in your way with a variety of combat styles, and participate in numerous regular events in addition to the dungeons and main story. Hoyo vs game is packed with activities to try out. It has even been enhanced with a strategic card game. When you're not creating crazy synergies between your most powerful powerful characters, you can cook delicious recipes, customize your personal instance, or solve complex puzzles in secret locations. The game's lore has been a huge part of its success and adds even more depth to the beautiful scenery of the world of Tevat, from the illuminated city of Mondstadt to the floating islands of Huagong Stone Forests, the cherry blossoms of Inazuma, the tavern of Wangshu, the terraces of Quinche Village, the turquoise Luhua Lake, the floating mansion or the paradise of eternal silence. The landscapes of Genshin Impact deserve their very own Hitchhiker's Guide. Explore the world of Genshin Impact without limits, now on Android and iOS for free. And that's it, it's already the end of this top mobile games of April. I hope you enjoyed it, and as usual, if you did, don't forget to like, comment, and share the video, and of course subscribe to the channel. See ya!